Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Stihl MSA 220C electric chainsaw. Now guys, I do a fair bit of chainsawing around the farm here, and most people who do live on any amount of land will definitely find the need for one. Now it's taken me a while to actually take the dive, and I mean, look, I haven't even used it yet, so the jury is still out, but we'll make up our mind in this review. But basically, looking at small chainsaws. Now I've got a bigger Stihl 461 Magnum chainsaw that I use for real heavy logging around the farm. But I do have a smaller MS170, which is just the very basic 1.3 kilowatt chainsaw from Stihl. Now that's pretty good when you just need to cut a few lighter branches and so forth. But I really, hate having to mix up the fuel. I hate having to get it started. I hate the noise of it. So I thought, let's have a look at these electric ones. So the previous electric ones from Stihl, they did have that thinner gauge chain. Now this one here actually has a proper 0.05 of an inch gauge chain, just like I've got on the MS170. Also too, the chain pitch is 3/8 of an inch pico. So for me, this was pretty much going to be the same as the MS170, just with a lot more grunt. And why I say that is because this chainsaw here is 36 volts, so it's equivalent to about 2.1 kilowatt when using the AP300S battery, which I've actually got installed in it. So to give you a comparison, guys, some of the Wood Boss series from Stihl, like the MS231, is 2 kilowatt of power output. So this is just that little bit more. So for me, I'm expecting a fair bit out of this. So I'll quickly show you just around it. Now we've just got a cap here that you can just flip up, and that takes the side of the case off. Okay, so you can easily take that off if you want to replace the chain. The tensioner there, you can see clearly that clockwise to the plus position to tighten up the chain, or you can loosen it. It's really straightforward. Now the bar size on this one is 35 centimeters or 14 inches. You can actually get a 40 centimeter cutting bar as well, but I'll just see how this one goes for me. The only thing that will be pretty much the same as the original fossil fuel chainsaw is you still have to put chain oil in it. Okay, so that is just there on the chainsaw. Now the weight of this with the AP300S battery in it is 4.7 kilos. So if you're comparing that to the actual MS170, that was 4 kilos all up. So a little bit more weight here, but obviously we've got almost twice the power output. So we're definitely getting an advantage there. Now the battery on this really straightforward. You put them in, you just slide them straight in. Really easy, just clips in. There's a gauge there where you can just press it and it highlights up how full the battery is. So obviously this one's full. Now, I can't see any real negatives with it, guys. A lot of people have got solar these days, so you can charge batteries during the day there, and it's really not going to cost you anything. For me, I just want to get away from using as much fuel as possible, because obviously it cost me a fair bit of money, and I've got solar, so I thought, why not? So let me just have a quick talk about the battery. Now the battery I'm running here is the AP300S. Now this is the latest one from Stihl at the time of doing this review. So it's the lithium ion pro. It weighs 1.8 kilo, 7.2 amp hours and 36 volt. Okay, now when you use this with the AL500 supercharger, now they do say that the charge time is 35 minutes for the standard AP300 battery, but we don't have a recharge time for the AP300S. So I did it from basically a brand new battery, which was pretty much flat, and the charge time here, obviously the video is in fast forward here, so you don't have to sit through, but at 34 minutes and 45 seconds exactly, and it was charged completely full. So I was pretty happy with that. Okay, so I've got my old MS170 in the back here, and I've only used it once, but I've got pretty much a brand new tungsten chain on it. We've just got the normal non-tungsten chain on the actual electric one here. So we'll get both of them ready to go. And I've got an old hardwood fence post here that, you know, really they are extremely hard here in Australia, most people know. So I'll cut through both of them using both of the different chainsaws, and we'll just see how they go. Guys, I'm really happy. That just went through that like a hot knife through butter. So let's put it to the test now. I got some other timber lying around the place, and let's just give this a really good workout. Guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the Stihl MSA 220C. Now, honestly, I'm pretty impressed. You know, you saw some of the thickness of that timber that I was cutting through. Now, as for the run time, you know, even though they say up to 40 odd minutes, you know, no. So from what I've found, just cutting up all the timber here, I've got a good solid, you know, 25 minutes out of it. The battery level is down to 1, but still, it still hasn't run out. You know, it's still going. So I would probably safely say, you know, you'll get about that 25 minutes to 30 minutes out of it, you know, with some pretty heavy cutting. Now, some of the logs that I've cut with this, guys, you know, normally I'd be using like my 461 Magnum to do it. But, you know, I just really wanted to put this to the test and see how it goes. And honestly, I can't fault it. You know, as I said, for me, getting away from the fossil fuels with having to mix fuel, purchase fuel, you know, it just makes sense with going to these batteries and electric power. So price wise, guys, you know, you're looking at roughly about $589 for the chainsaw, and then, you know, $200 odd per battery, depending on which one you get. I mean, if you want this AP300S that I've got here, you know, you're looking at paying like, you know, around about that $250 mark retail. So yeah, look, it's not massively cheap to get into, but in the long run, I mean, these batteries I can use with other Stihl products, you know, when I purchase them, and you know, they've got a lot of power in them. So I look at it in that way. I mean, look, if you didn't have solar and you had to pay for all your electricity, it's probably not worth going, you know, to these. However, if you've got solar and, you know, you can charge batteries during the day and everything for no extra cost, I just can't see why you wouldn't go for something like this. I mean, just the ease of being able to pull this out of the ute and just basically disengage the lock, start. I mean, I just can't put a price on that. You know, I just hate having to get chainsaws started at the best of times. I just want them to work straight away. So yeah, guys, look, I can't fault it. Just a sensational chainsaw, and I'm excited to see what other products they come out with in that electric range. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. So if you did, please give it the thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next review.